it's
What
up
about
to
Matilda?
Matilda in this game.
Elite ako.
With the Akai as well?
Yep, there's a lot of vision. I do like it. I do like it. There's a lot of setup.
Actually, I do like it as well. Being able to guiding win yourself out of the out of reach of the Natalia.
This could be a treat coming in just to close up the series.
like
Another
that.
debut pick.
What? Okay, Kagura. Novaria.
Debut
It is
pick
a debut
just as well.
Yep.
Just as well. Wow, Oh My Bean is so comfortable on the Novaria in Rome this time. And yeah, you are going to be playing the Kagura.
Yep. It's a way for you to burst down the Natalia. It's a one-shot combo as well. And even if you get silenced, you just have to wait for a little bit. You retract your umbrella, you have shields, and then you pop your Union Overturn, you're going to be A-okay.
Here we go, folks. One more game. And just as close as Blacklist is to that grand finals, the Cambodian crowd fires up even more. They know that dire straits are coming. They know that this is inevitable. They know that they're underdogs going up against the powerhouse that is Blacklist International as we head into the Land of Dawn. Potentially the last game in this series. Potentially BurNX Flash's last chance to once more reset and make it to Game 5.
Is it a Game 5? It'll all be decided here in the Land of Dawn for game number 4 between BurNX Flash versus Blacklist International. Who is in match point?
To Mobile Legends.
Oh, okay.
Game.
So look at BurNX Flash. For them to
Wag
win
mo
it
na
back.
ako Natalia.
It's a massive setup, as well as CCAT. But D7, the power pick on the Natalia. First phase for BurNX Flash, is it enough?
So right off the bat, we're looking at Blacklist International with the mage heading down to the bottom lane. This is the initial rotation that we have seen, and this is what they would do in order to get all 4 of them level 4.
Yeah, I'm sorry to nerd out here, but I was thinking that Natalia can do that. Look at the invade that he's doing. He's gonna disrupt Wise's jungle pattern.
His jungle pattern is mostly going down, going from the orange down to the purple. So this is mostly going down to the southern side. But once that is done, he will eventually make his way to the northern side, and that is where he will be able to get his level 4. Otherwise, he will need to wait a little bit more time before he can eventually get that.
So good. I mean, they did not pick the Natalia just for the sake of countering the Novaria. They actually have a plan against Blacklist.
I mean, they also found and knew that, yes, Wise is doing this from top to bottom, just from the single jungle creep that is available, that is closest to the first tier defense turret in the middle. All the information is out there.
No heavy spin anymore. But still no Petrify for ATM. Still, massive ultimate that's not available for Blacklist.
If Chama chooses a time to, pop off with his retreat, now is the best time to do so. Blacklist with match point, they need it. This is the last hope for the Cambodians.
It is all about disciplined play from the side of Blacklist International. It's either they would want to keep the Natalia in the main team fights and use Novaria as this bait, or do they just want to find a way to unlock Brody? That is the big question. In the meantime, ATM...
Well, Wise wins it in the 50-50. Chua is going to be bursted down, but a yin-yang overturn as well. ATM still surviving. Venus not able to connect right there. CCAT steals it with a heavy spin to disengage. D7 unable to find an opening in that skirmish.
First total going down to Blacklist International.
Oh my god. You see, Edward just knows his job so well. The reason why Wise was able to win the 50-50 is, without the heavy spin, is because of Edward. The stun connects. And he knows that Chima will eventually be showing himself. Didn't even have to use the flicker for that play. That is how good Edward was.
Let's see what they do here in the second minute of the game. What does BurNX Flash need to find at this point, at this stage, to turn it around? Because Blacklist, now with the Kagura, with a Brody, with a Lapu, the snowball potential is massive.
I really like to see this Lapu in the hands of Edward. So far, it was always just joy and trying to get himself the priority and such. But this time, with the Lapu, you're playing things a little bit safer. You're not trying to win in the lanes. You just want to play safe and eventually get to where you are. Especially since you're fighting against a Yuzhong here. Let's remember that.
Yin-yang overturn and the bravest fighter there. A few more hits under the turret, a clean dive from Blacklist International. Chama looks for a trade, but is unable to find anything here. Uses the retribution. It's a slow. That is it.
It's not advisable for him to stay in here. They need to give the farm to Yu Zhang. And already Blacklist International are leading by 1,000 gold. That's all of those mini moves that Blacklist International have been able to do allows them to get a massive lead with just a 2-0. You see, Wise utilized the heavy spin just to take out and steal that orange buff. That was a massive play for Blacklist, and now they have so much of an opening in the early stages.
Also, how much of a lead does Edward have on top of ATM? Because I'm pretty sure that an entire creep wave is pretty much missed out from the side of ATM.
Yeah,
so it could pretty much translate to a single $600 item.
600 gold.
600 gold. Yes. Oh, really 600 gold. Okay.
Oh, heavy spin responded over by heavy spin.
Nah.
Jamal walks up, but he still misses the rectory. It's Wise.
Magawa ni
Who
Team,
picks it
di
up,
makaret.
Staying composed as ever. ATM with a Black Dragon form. He should be
Wala
able to do
yun.
anything. Meanwhile, Owl picking up the turret plating in the bottom lane, getting so much gold for himself and snowballing, pushing it even further.
I don't know about this, but for the side of Black Flash, they have been reacting more than attacking.
Yeah. Oh, Wise is just so good at the jungle.
DMI gets him out. D7 with a few damage hits onto UM, but Wise will not be able to steal away the orange buff this time. Chima forced to red trade.
A lot of movements from the side of Blacklist International. They would want to even get themselves the proxy down to the southern side. They want to push this all the way through. Give Owl all of that gold, gain all of the farm, and just funnel everything else out.
Though.
It's unfortunate though, the Torn Apart memory didn't quite work out for them, but Wise.
Pinned down. Yin Yang overturned from Yue to pick the kill up. Blacklist just rolling in this game. 2,600 gold lead. No stopping
Wala na
Blacklist
mapited
for
na.
now.
That's a free turret down at the bottom lane. So
Yeah.
it only makes sense for ATM to try to go for a counter. It wants to find the counter value all the way up to the top lane.
Wise is playing the side of the jungle that should belong to Burnix Flash.
It's like vertical jungling, isn't it?
Vertical jungling. Not even just vertical jungling. It's like literally just taking everything that he
It's a
wanted.
square jungle. He takes the
square
whole
jungle.
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 Na-tilted na tong Burnex
Jungle
Flash.
is
Entire jungle. It's just his map. Wise is just owned this game. And by the way, this is not the first time. I think all 4 games that we saw this game, Wise was just phenomenal. Even in the game that they lost, as the Baksha, he was 3-0-3 in the first 5 minutes. That's how active he was. And now he's 2-0 or 0-0-2. I mean, out of the 3 kills that they have in the first 6 minutes, leading by a lot when it comes to AXP. He's level 9 while Chima's level 8.
With the turtle spawned up, the entirety of Blacklist International wants to get themselves the turtle priority. They're hanging around the riverbed and they're just waiting for the perfect time. Opening up all these brushes, Oh My Venus even with the Astro Echo. He did manage to find one, but Burnex Flash, it seems like they understood where they stand. They understood that they cannot possibly take this away from the hands of Wise. Otherwise, the gap widens.
3 turtles. The gap is as wide as it can be for Blacklist in the 7th minute of the game. Owl is also snowball. D7's trying to get some vision here, but he's actually going to be read out by Venus. Some damage placed down, but D7 caught in a bad spot. Now Owl as well. This should just be a free kill over. There's nowhere to run. D7 has
Sharky Salmon, thank you so
Dalawang po from someone.
20.
IH2 Pakila ka sound ng live and hine, thank you.
Sige, sige.
Against the RSG. They haven't really been producing much results.
Yeah, well, this is because it was a 3rd pick, Natalia. And all they had to do was to pick up Lapu-Lapu. Lapu-Lapu not gonna be concerned. Has a ton of armor or physical damage defense. You have the Brody that's unparted by the Natalia.
Probably just tunnel vision onto just bringing Oh My Venus down. That's just how much respect that they have for Oh My Venus's the Novaria. To get it.
That's why I felt like the ATM's Yuzhong might not be the case. Because the thing with Natalia, if you want to pick up the Natalia, somebody always has to stay in lane. Yuzhong don't want to do that. You want a team fight afterwards, right? You want to get a kill. You need something like a sustained. Like, yeah, Uranus, your Esmeralda, perhaps Joy at a certain point. Heroes that stay in lane, so that everybody else will be busy. You'll have your shot at clearing out some, getting a pick-off, perhaps.
But D7 wanders around. He's trying to look for these small little opportunities that is presented to him. Now, even if they have the Natalia, they don't have the control of the river. He can kill, technically speaking, once he has got an item and once they have got return lead, right? They should be able to get himself the kill onto the Kagura, being one of the biggest problems in the team. Look at a Yin Yang overturn. What can he do to D7?
Well, he can burst him down. That's clear right now. Don't think D7 has enough resources to do anything against the back line of Blacklist International, but ATM very deep in enemy territory right now, using the Fierce Dive defensively.
Wow,
and
yan.
he just practically isolates himself. The Petrify comes through. ATM's doing some damage. CCAT with a flicker in, but it's miscommunication. No one was there to follow it up. CCAT burned his
Nagtitrip na lang.
flicker for nothing. D7 is looking for a trade back, but Owl is already gone.
Isn't this exactly what Leo has said? Where we are expecting and we are seeing BxF Flash starting to, get a little bit of a communication problem. Oh!
Finally.
There's one back. Burner finally on the board. Chima looking for an opening here onto the Lord, but it does seems like Blacklist International should be able to take this for free. No contest whatsoever. Burn put their resources up top. Donut isn't even able to go for a trade. It's Blacklist with a free Lord.
Blacklist is just keeping to their
Tatlong
code.
poop
Magalab
from
ka ba,
someone.
malapit sa'yo? Magalab
H2
ako mamaya.
mag-leave ka ba sa laban ng
Mag-leave mo na
Echo?
after na to.
They
Tagal pa yun
never
eh. Thank you
lost
sa
the
30
split
pesos,
game.
someone.
Because that is a big thing. The fact that Blacklist International lost to BxF Flash for game number 2, I would have thought that it would have affected them.
Ako nanalo yung
But it
Burn
didn't.
Flash nung
They're
game 1,
still
puto
calm,
sa
they're
ano,
still
may game
composed,
5.
and they're still disciplined.
Wise with a heavy spin, trying to buy some time or trying to open up some space. Owl, turn of our memory, does it get him? No, Chima is
Almost.
able to escape. Barely, almost gets him.
Did Natalia get hit by the Astral Echo? No, he didn't. Utilize it. All the same, you can see Blacklist International just owning the map, Wise taking away the buff once again, utilizing the Lord so that the lanes will naturally push, and then they will take out the mid lane turret. Gonna be moving into the middle. It's gonna be difficult for BxF to defend.
This is a it feels very much of a front to back from the side of BxF Flash, right? The way that they have played. They want to target over to the back lines, but in the meantime, they just doesn't seem like they have the confidence to do so. They probably understood that if they were to jump into the back lines, the entirety of Blacklist just crumbles and collapses on them. But shouldn't that be the value that we should be looking out for? Try to find a couple of trades, like between ATM for someone else. That should make sense.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they decided to go for this Yuzhong and they haven't been utilizing it like what they did in game number 3, where the real world manipulation just doesn't really connect to benefit the BxF Flash members. This time, they're not team fighting.
They're losing
so
this
weird.
team.
Yeah,
It's like they're running out of charcoal or coal, rather.
for sure.
And it's just not pumping.
Well, Owl didn't spot D7 there, but finally does now. Skill 2 in front, first skill, that's the ultimate. Smoke screen for D7, Wise comes down, gets them, CCAT isn't in time. Yang overturn, barely connects. Venus almost just took CCAT down.
Absolutely uncharacteristic to see a marksman chasing after an assassin.
ATM now with a Black Dragon form, Owl with the nature. With a wind chant, Pop able to escape. No heavy spin this time for Blacklist International as Donut is still clearing it out in the mid lane.
And
We still have 30 seconds left until the launch.
20 from someone. Idol pa shoutout mga tropa sa Goto Believe Capitolio.
I mean, we're looking at the 6,000 gold.
Masyal sa mga tropa, go to Believe Capitolio, masarap dun guys. Nakain na ako dun.
Responsibility can BxF Flash do
Dapat
now.
yun sa bootcamp namin.
They do have Natalia. They
Yep.
can find trades.
maybe, but they will have to wait for Donut to reach a maximum items. I don't think if you place this correctly, you will not be bursted out by the. By this Yin Yang overturn perhaps, or maybe by Owl, then rely on D7. At this point, ATM is just a starter for team fights. He's not gonna be able to find the opening in the backlines.
I understand that they would want to extend this game for a little while longer in order for Donut to eventually get to the power of spike
That's
that they
the
want.
only option here.
And D7 can eventually get there as well, because once the D7 has got the item that you want, Owl is more or less dead. It's actually not just Owl. Oh, my Venus will be there. You will be there.
Wala silang pang
But
setup,
Flash will
mahirap
have
mo
a
sila.
one-for-one trade, no matter how it is.
Blacklist
going to be
yan guys.
But as it stands, they cannot team fight at all.
They can't. Yeah, they can't. So in the mid stages of the game, that is the missing link that we're looking at, isn't it?
Perhaps yes.
Oh, Raven Spider, D7's gonna be caught in the stun as well with a flicker. Solo kill from Agent Zero.
You can't do that against Lapu. Natalia versus Lapu, that's gonna spell doom. So much armor, so much physical defense. Really no way for Natalia to win against
Donut's gonna be shut down! US with the yin-yang overturn.
Let's not forget the Astral Echo. The debuff was on him as well. All right? The Yin Yang overturn damage was insane, but the question is, what was he doing there?
Oh, I don't know how to answer that because now they will suffer from that.
Like a Jobel SP na
From
punta ka
Jobel
Bohol.
SP na. Punta ka Bohol H2O.
A 10,000 gold lead for Blacklist
Wait, na ba sa
International.
ball?
They're marching down, sieging the base. Not giving any mercy. ACM with a furious dive. Bedford gonna be able to cancel it out. With the Bravest Spider, anti-CC. Venus is looking for the Astral Sphere, but they will just utilize the Enhanced
na yan.
Lords still in that top lane. Gonna be crashing down. Chuma isolated from the team. Now brought back with a heavy spin. Descended the back line. Trying to dive, but it's gonna be Yue! Again! Able to lock him down. Donut with a blazing duet in desperation, but ATM will
Wala silang
fall
mapatay ang
to
buti.
Agent Zero. Lord on the base. Burn X Flash falling one by one. The embers and the flames have been extinguished. Blacklist International have knocked the Cambodians out.
The first team that has made their way up and climbing it all through to the grand finals. Blacklist International. Ladies and gentlemen, bear witness.
Another grand finals for the VY stand-up and the entirety of Blacklist International, and they did it in style.
10 from someone. May chance po ba na kumain kayo ni Akim sa Goto Believe?
May chance naman.
You thought that they would win game number 1.
May din sa Goto yun.
They won game number 2.
Thank you sa man
3
sa
and
100
4,
pesos.
The Fire.
GG Blacklist.